running. Alright, I'm going to show you how to do a rear sway bar conversion. I got a kit for this. So what I've done is I've already taken the wheels off, as you can see, and I've got it up on jack stands. Always use safety or jack stands when you're doing work like this. It will save your life. Don't ever support a car by the jack alone, because that hydraulic pump can fail. So when you're doing this kit, it comes with new arms. The old arms for front wheel drive, no sway bar, does not have this pocket in it. And I'll show you where this goes. I have swapped the bushings out for a kit of bushings that I had or have in this, and I did to the rear, and I needed to swap them out again because I can't press the other ones out. They've been in there for quite some time, and I don't really want to take the chance. So this kit is I forget what this kit is called, but it's you can find it on Mach-V. This is for a 2G DSM. This will fit Mitsubishi and Eagle Talons, Mitsubishi Eclipse and Eagle Talons. So, and it comes with front and rear sway bars. These are larger diameter. It comes with the control arms, which I just showed. It comes with mounting bushings for front and rear, and another option was for having a rear sway bar mounting kit, which comes with the arms and the hardware for it. So this is everything in here for it. So I'm going to start by taking apart. It's this arm here that we're taking off. This arm is the tow control arm for alignment. So it's this arm I'm going for. I'm going to get that arm out, and then we're going to put the other one in, and then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So let's see. If I remember correctly, majority of these bolts I think I replaced this bolt, so it's not the same. Okay, so this, grab the camera here. So this bolt I may have replaced in the past, so it's not original, so I'm going to use the right side socket, which is, if I have it the right way, a 19 millimeter. So I'm going to use a 19, and then this other side I've got to use, I want to say it looks like a 17, and then this nut I got to put a wrench on, a combination, because the this trailing arm's in the way and I can't exactly get it. See here. So this arm, you notice this is where the pocket would be on it, and it is not there. It does not have that pocket. Okay, 16. So I need a 16 millimeter wrench for this other side here. Okay. Maybe. No, it's a 7. I think it's a 17. It's larger. That's right. Probably could replace this bolt in the past. No, it's an 18. I think it's an 18 because the 18 fits right on it. So these bolts may not be the same as yours. Like I said, I've replaced these in the past. So I'm just going to zip this out of here and get stuff blown in my face. If a bolt's not going to come out right away, here's a handy trick. I'm going to take a wrench. I'm just going to put it on the back side of the bolt head. And then just zip it out like so. I'm going to put the washer with the nut. And then I'm going to move to the other one here. Go.
I'll go, Brad.
Persuasion. Again, I'm just gonna put the wrench on there. A little leverage on it. Come on. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Just like so. There we go. Bolt with that. Yeah, I replaced that bolt before because it's not zinc coated. I'm just going to somehow hit this out of here. Okay. Now I'm just going to wiggle this arm back and forth until it comes off. Sometimes you need a little leverage. A little leverage can go quite a ways. So I'm just gonna get it behind here. I gotta rethink this. I hear a racer. You know. Oh, I bumped the camera. Alright. I was going to try to slip it out the other way, but apparently that wasn't going to work too well. So I'm revising. There we go. Just like that. This should just come right out. So what I did is I pried it down this way, and then I was able to just slide it off. So here's the two in comparison. Rear sway bar, no rear sway bar. And I'm just going to slip this back in the way I got it out. Move the camera before I heard it. This is being a bit of a bugger. I didn't want to do this, but I might have to. Okay, that seems to be working better. There we go. So instead I'm just going to slide this into the slot here first and then put it on the outside. Okay. So when I put these bolts back in, remember the orientation. This bolt for the outer side of the spindle goes in just like this. So I'm going to coat these with anti-seize to prevent them from rusting into the bushing. I suggest this highly. It'll save you time and trouble in the future. So I'm just going to take lovely anti-seize here. It's to be messy when you get it on your fingers. I just can't really get it off. I'm going to put some on the threads too. And then I'm just going to take this bolt. After I line this hole up, and of course I pushed it up too far. It's okay. I'm just Here we go. And then I'm just gonna temporarily just screw this on this nut and put this lock washer on first, and then I'm gonna put this nut on here, and then I'm gonna tighten the suspension arms up when it's at right height, meaning the suspension's at has a full load of the vehicle on it and a torque it spec. Okay, there's that one, and then I'm going to do this one. This one orientates the other way, so this one's going to sit this way. Again, I'm just going to put anti-seize on this. Keep it from rusting in. Or another option, which might be a little more expensive, put stainless steel bolts in it. Make them, they must be grade 8.8 minimum. But if you want to go that route, that's fine. For me personally, I would have chosen a 10.9 or higher on the bolts. Now I'm just going to give it a little persuasion. So, and then I'm just going to put the nut and washer on, just like I said, the other one. Okay. So we're going to do the same to the other side, and then we'll do the sway bar. Okay, so both the control arms are in. So I'm using a Haynes manual for some of my data source. So anything in this manual is copyrighted. So, and it's also shared from the manufacturer. So I'm going to turn to page 10-2. I'm going to look at these rear suspension specs here. See if I can't get a... So what I want is I want lower arm to cross member bolt, which is going to be 71 foot-pounds unless otherwise noted. So lower arm to knuckle bolt is also going to be 71 foot-pounds for 95 through 99, and this is a 98, so that's what applies here. 2000 and later does not apply. So I need 71 foot-pounds. Take this torque wrench. And I'm going to set the torque wrench to 71. So, using the graduated marks here, see if I can't get it to focus. No, but it's at 71. So now, here's what I'm going to do. Set the camera here. So again, I'm going to take our sockets we've been using. So we need 16 and then, what was it, 19? 16 and 19. I'm going to have the other wrenches ready, and that's what we're going to use to torque these. If for some purpose or reason you have no way of lowering the car down, here's what I've done in the past. Taken a jack, put it under a good point of the spindle. In this case, we could probably get away with using the lower arm. And then put the weight of the vehicle on it. And then from here, we'll just torque it. one. I'm going to move on to the other one. Give it a few clicks afterwards. That tells me it's in. And then I'm just going to move on to the other side and do the same thing. If you have a 4-post lift or like an alignment rack, that's a really good way of having a really nice way of having the vehicle level and then torquing it, because you can actually get under it. And like a flat ground like this with no lift, it has its challenges. So, well, I lost the file because the battery died and it didn't save. So basically, put the sway bar in and the arm swings down and underneath the tow control arm. The bushings in this kit, there come 4 bushings. One's got a larger hole, the other one's got a smaller hole. The smaller hole goes on the rear sway bar, and then it comes with brackets and bolts. Those are used for the sway bar bushings, and then these nuts and sway bar links. So I've coated the sway bar in this area here on the rear, in this area, and then also inside the bushing with the grease provided, and this gets them to be quiet. This grease also has a known tendency to become diluted with wet weather over time and begins to squeak. The remedy I've come up with is silicone grease, or using something like PB Blaster, and it shuts it up. So these bolts are torqued to 10 foot-pounds because 12 times 10 is 100 inch-pounds, and the book says rear sway bar clamping bolts 95 through 99 is 84 to 120 inch-pounds, and inch-pounds divided by 12 gives you foot-pounds, so it is 10 foot-pounds. So I'm going to set our torque wrench doohickey, and I'm going to torque these. Actually, I'm not going to use a stand. I am actually going to put you back over here to where you can see what I'm doing. Okay. And these bolts are 12mm socket heads. Okay. If you don't have the grease that's provided with this kit, you can use normal chassis suspension grease. It'll do the same thing. Though another tidbit is, if you have the time and willingness, drill a hole through the bushing to the sway bar in a small channel and put a grease zerk on it, and you'll always be able to have a way to grease it. But that's going to be someday in the future for me. So these bolts I put anti-seize on because the back side is open to dirt, water and all that, so to prevent from seizing in here, and just put a little anti-seize on it, and then we're just going to put these in here. That's 10 inch-pounds, or 10 foot-pounds, I'm sorry. Okay. 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 Those are in. Now we can move on to the sway bar links. When I first opened this box, it's kind of funny. They're using parts from Subaru. Yes, these are Subaru parts, but they fit on here exactly. I kind of find it ironic, but it's okay. So these links have an Allen head inside so they don't spin while you put the nuts on. If you have to, a little pair of vice grips on the back. Just make sure you don't catch the rubber, but I think I'll just use the Allen head key here. And I think these are no, they look like 5mm Allen keys. And then the nuts are going to be 14, I believe. I won't say they'll be 14, but are they actually 14? Yep, they're 14 all right. And then these will be, I think they'll be 5, yeah, they're going to be 5mm. 5mm. And I need to grab a wrench. We'll do this side with more room first. So let's use the handy tripod. It'll cooperate here. Okay. So what I'm going to try to do here, actually, I'm going to come from the other side, and there we go. Here's a good view. So when these go in, the threads face in towards the vehicle, because of the mounting plate in here is towards the vehicle. So I'm just going to set this in here. Bottom one needs to, there we go. There we go. And I'm just going to start these nuts. I'm not going to tighten them all the way yet. Not yet. There we go. One started. And then I'm going to put the other one in on the other side to start it. That way I'm not fighting this side trying to put it in. Okie dokie. So, the way I'm going to do this is I have my Allen head here. It's a 5mm. And I have my 14mm wrench here. So with this, I'm just going to put the wrench on here first, and if I can, I'm going to put this Allen head into the stud of the link. And then I'm going to tighten it using the wrench. I actually may need my other Allen wrenches. Sometimes you can get lucky and these studs won't spin and you can get them tightened, but in the case they do start spinning, you're going to have to hold the stud somehow without damaging the threads. So this one I got lucky on, it looks like. Okay, I'm going to come back and torque that. I just want to snug it up, so I'm going to do the same for this bottom one here. I'm going to get it started as far in as I can, and then I'm going to tighten it. Okay, this one's starting to spin on me, so I'm going to go ahead and put my Allen head tool in here, and I'm going to snug it up. Here's one side, and then the links are torqued to 28 foot-pounds. I should have brought home my swivels for this. So the bottom one's good. Can I get a different angle on this one? Yeah, I'm gonna have to move the camera though. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, and then that should be it for the spare sway bar kit. And then we'll just put the wheels back on and torque them to spec, and then we'll put the vehicle on the ground. Okay, so sway bars and links are on. Everything's been torqued and double checked. Always double check, make sure you didn't lose something loose. In this case, it would be the lower control arm in the rear, the sway bar links and sway bar bracket bolts. So I've torqued them. Now we just got to put the wheels back on and put it on the ground. If you're doing this on the ground, what I like to do is put my legs around it, and then I can use my legs and knees to help position the wheel. This makes it easy instead of trying to hold it and hurt yourself. So I'm just using my legs to do the lifting for me. Of course, these wheels aren't very heavy at all, so I'm just going to put them on here like so. So I'm going to start these lug nuts by hand. Try to get this arrows out of my way here. So these are special lug nuts. These are like lockout lug nuts. They're just key form. And they're smaller in diameter because of the hole on this rim here. This hole, you can't fit a regular size OE lug nut in. Plus that lug nut wouldn't work anyways. So again, I am just going to put my legs around here and I'm just going to hold it and move each one accordingly to position it on here. Again, I'm just going to start these by hand so I don't cross thread these. If your studs, wheel studs are a little rusty, it's a good idea to apply a little anti-seize on them. You'll be thankful you did. It'll make removal easier so they don't rust on. So, alright, so I'm just going to get these started with the air gun. I'm not going to put these on all the way though. I'm just going to give them till they're snugged up, and then we're going to use a torque wrench. Always torque your lug nuts, don't guess. Don't ever guess. So I'm just going to get these on here started. And always use a crisscross pattern. Okay. So when I'm talking about a crisscross pattern, I'm talking, if you start here, you're going this one, and this one, and this one, and then this one. And then once you got that, we'll put it on the ground when you do both, and then we'll do it again, and then we'll go around in a circle and double check, make sure they're on. So I'm going to do the same to this side. Okay, so now we're going to put this on the ground and I'm going to torque them. And these get torqued to 100 to 110 foot-pounds. So now we're going to let it down until the wheels touch the ground. And then from here, we're going to use a torque wrench. Okay. So the reason why you don't put your full weight on here is because these are still loose and they're not fully tightened. You can ruin studs that way. See, like this one, it wasn't all the way. Now it is. By avoiding putting all the weight on, it makes it so you can get the wheel snugged up and flat instead of trying to fight it. So what I talked about earlier is now I'm going around in a circle, making sure I got them. Clicking them a couple times to make sure they're not caught up. Now we'll go to the other side, do the same thing. Again, I'm going to go in the start pattern. In a circle. There we go. That's how you do a rear sway bar conversion. Okay, now that we've finished the rear sway bar conversion, we're going to do the front one now. This one's a thicker sway bar than the factory, so it's going to have more anti-roll capability to it. So now we're going to take everything and move it to the front. Okay. So first we're going to jack the front of the vehicle up. Okay, there we go. So you're going to have to set the park brake and or be a good idea to place blocks on the back wheels. So when you jack up the car, and if you're doing it on the left front side or this side, put the block on the opposite back side, so it'll be diagonally and to the rear. So we're going to jack this up first, take the wheels off, just like we did with the rear, and go from there. And now we're going to put our stand underneath for safety. And now we're going to move over to the other side and do the same thing. I'm going to rethink this one on this side. I think what I might end up doing is going to put blocks under frame rail over here. Okay, now we're going to put the safety stand under it. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to readjust the side and the front. Okay, now that we have the safety stands in place, we can go ahead and take the wheels off. How's our time doing? Okay. So, where my fingers are, this is the factory sway bar. It is smaller in diameter than the new one. I'm sorry about the compressor, but it's running it up, so what we're going to do is we're going to detach sway bar links, which is this here, from my fingers. We're going to detach it from this end. We're not going to take it off the fork because we don't need to. We're going to get these gusset plates off. I'll show you here. So, this is a gusset plate where my finger is. These have, I want to say they're 17 millimeters, and there's, I want to say 5 or 6 in each plate. So there's 4 here and then 2 more in the back. And then do the same thing on the other side. We may or may not have to drop the subframe cross member, but I don't believe we will have to. Just need to get enough room so we can access the sway bar and get it out and get these bolts out of the brackets here. So let's get to it. At first, I'm going to move everything from the rear of the vehicle to the front. Okay, so back to where we were. So I'm going to take these gusset plate bolts out. No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. They're 14s. I think they're 14s. 17 ain't gonna do it. Yep, 14 it is. 14. I'm sorry. I'm just going to set them here. Do you know some of these are longer than the others, so you have to make sure you remember where they went. So put the bolts with that one. Okay, now we're going to switch sides. Last time I had these plates off is when I did the steering rack. Trust me, that's not quite that fun. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to go after the sway bar links. And those two are 14 millimeter as well. No, not unless the socket's in the wrong place that I grabbed it from. Okay, it might be a 15 actually. That would help. Yep. So it's a 15. And it's spinning, so after I loosen it, so I'm gonna have to get a I'm gonna have to find a wrench to put on that. I think I just might end up using vice grips on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these jaws, I'm going to widen them. Widen it out significantly. Hold on, I'm going to try the 17 on this first. There's two flats in the back side of the stud here that meets the sway bar. I'm trying to think maybe I can get a wrench on it instead. And yeah, it's too big. Going back to the original plan, vice grips. Okay. The grips are in place. And voila. Just like that. Comes out. So this is just going to hang here until I shift the sway bar far enough one way or the other to get them out. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, and then we'll get the sway bar out. This one came out with more ease. Okay, got that one out. So now we're going to go after the sway bar itself. Get that stand out of my way. So now I'm going to go after these two bolts here, and it's right behind the rack. They're still accessible. You don't need to move the rack or anything out of your way. Sorry, I'm itching my nose a little bit here. So I do that for this side and the passenger side, and I'll show you how to get the sway bar out. Okay, so I got this front sway bar out. Fortunately, I had another file did not save it because the battery died again. File exhaustion, so I slipped a new battery in. It's probably because the battery got hot. So I got the sway bar out. The new ones look similar. These sway bar bushing brackets here are orientated. They're specific, as you can see. So the slanted part goes at the top. So I got the new one slid in here. The way I did this is I pushed the driver's side towards the passenger side and got, after finagling around the strut fork here, and then put it down, slide it towards the driver's side with this piece here at the 9 o'clock position, and then once I got the other side, the arm length to about the exhaust, I switched it to the 6 o'clock, and then I jangled it towards the front and slid it out, and then that's how I did that. And that's how I got it back in. So this one's in. Now we're just going to put the bolts in. I'm going to put a lot of anti-seize on these bolts to keep them from rusting in, and then that should take care of what we need to do here. So I'm going to set the camera, and then I'm just going to take these bolts, put a little anti-seize on them, and then we're just going to put these brackets in. Again, these are orientated specifically. So I'm just going to start these top ones, and then I'm just going to slide the sway bar in from underneath. My hand in here somehow. Okay, I'm going to start these by hand, and then of course I got anti-seize all over my hand now. It's okay. This is just so you're not fighting the bracket trying to hold it when you put the bolt in. This is all the reason why I do it this way. Makes it so much easier. It really does. So there's no special new mounting bracket for these because these bushings fit inside the original. And then I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, I'm just going to snug these up and then we'll torque them. Okay. Somewhere. Oh, I found it. Right there. Alright, I'm going to work with this and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got them snugged up. Now we just need to torque them. So, let's consult the book. Front stabilizer blower. Bracket bolt is going to be, come on, focus, 33 foot-pounds. So you notice at the top it'll say foot-pounds, unless otherwise indicated. So I'm going to set our torque wrench. Again, these are going to be 14 millimeter. Okay, that one's in. That one's in. That one's in. And that one's in. Now we're going to move on to our sway bar links. Again, our links are going to be 33 on this side as well. Yeah, link nuts 33. So again, I'm going to put you on the stand. Get that out of my way. Okay, so this link I'm going to have a bit of trouble in, because I forgot to put it in. Oh, there we go. I'm going to put the nut. I'm going to start the nut on it, and then we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. This makes it so it's easier just to start the installation of both and then tighten them both down. I'm really upset about these files not being saved. Okay. Pardon my hand being in here, but I'm just trying to work these links into position. this side's gonna cramp. Okay, I need to switch sides with this camera. So you can kind of see what I'm working with, and I'm trying to get this stud here to go in. So I'm having to move the sway bar up and down as I'm pushing on it to get it to move it over. What I may end up doing is having to get a pry bar in here. That's probably what I'm going to do. I get attempt, but no cigar. It's all because of this strut fork. I'm having issues. Of the way without pinching myself. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, I got it. Yeah, if it really troubles you, just take it off from the strut fork and then put it on and then put the other one back on, I guess. So, okay. Now we got that. Now I can go ahead and torque these down. I'm going to snug them up first and then I'm going to use the torque wrench. It looks like on this one, yep, this one has the indexing for a 5mm Allen key or a hex head bit to hold it in place to keep it from spinning. While and this one, these have got two different sizes. One side, I believe, on the driver's side is going to be a 15. This one's a 14 on this side. So all I'm going to do is this on here in the right direction, and I'm also going to put there we go. And there it goes. Okay. Then we'll come back with a torque wrench on that one. Again, this one's going to be mainly from factory. These are 14s, but when you get into aftermarket ones, they change the nut sizes quite a bit. Oh, Jesus, how am I going to do this? That stands in my way. I might have to get an extension for this one. So, I think for now we're just going to move on to the other side. And this one doesn't have that Allen key in it. It has the flats on the back of it. Which I think might be a 14. I'm going to take this opportunity to check. No, it's like a 16. So here's a 16. Yeah, it's going to be a 16. Oh, bumped the camera stand, not good. Okay, I'm going to move the camera slightly here. Okay, now I'm going to get a torque wrench for it. Okay, so this one's in and torqued. And now, I'm going to go to the other side. If you can, if your sway bar links are worn out or boots are broken, usually during this process is a good time to do them. It really is. Trust me. You already have taken part of it off. Then only very little left. Okay, now we're going to do this one. Okay. trust it. Okay, now I trust it. Okay, so now I'm gonna put these plates back on down here. Again, I'm gonna put a little anti-seize on these bolts because this area is very is subject to large quantities of moisture and water. So I'm gonna take the time to put anti-seize on these for sure. These bolts. I'm going to start one and then I'm going to start another so that it becomes the alignment holes. Line these up, starting by hand, and then I'll snug them. So I've got the bolts started by hand, and now I'm just going to snug them up and then we'll torque them as well. If I can't find a torque spec, then I'm going to use the drill rule of thumb of bolt size and length and hardness. Like class 5, class 8 are these 8.8 metric or 10.9 metric bolt strength. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put the gun in low power and snug it. Okay, here's one, and now I'm going to consult the book. So let's see. Trailing arm, upper, lower arm to cross member bolt. Toe control arm to cross member. Oh no, that's front. That's rear. I'm sorry. I gotta go to the front page here. Lateral lower arm, compressor lower arm. Bolt. I'm not seeing it, so I'm gonna take a guess and we're gonna put it to 40 or 50 foot-pounds. So I'm not, unless it's in another section here, so I'm just gonna snug them up, and then we're just going to put the tires back on like we did with the rear, and that'll be it for the front sway bar. So I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Yes, it is Thanksgiving Day when I'm doing this. Or a happy holiday, depending on what you celebrate. So all I got to do is put these gussets back on, and then from there, I just got to put the wheels back on. So I'm going to go clean up and join my family for Thanksgiving dinner. So everyone enjoy your Thanksgiving or happy holiday, and I will catch you another time.